said some of the names of the
I love
sites.
we're going live as you're talking about food for thought working for Playboy.
Is that on your end?
No. Why would that be on my end? What's going on, everybody? That sound quality was excellent.
She's gone. She's gone.
What's going on back there?
I was talking about food for thought because we did a podcast today, and he used to do customer service for Playboy. That we find out, and some of the names of the websites are hilarious. So, listen to that if you want to hear more. How are you, Ryan?
I'm doing well. And speaking of listening to things, I know that a lot of people in here already are patrons on Disconnected, but if you are not, this is a great week to do it because we are streaming a movie live together for the first time on Sunday in our Discord. We have a poll up to choose a movie. So if you want to get in on that, now is the perfect time to sign up for that.
What's the options?
Let me see if I can pull them up real quick.
Everyone vote for Baby Cart at the River Styx.
It is nothing like that. Let's see. Day of the Animals, Mad God, All About Evil, VHS 94, or Shaitan.
Shaitan's the French movie. That's a great movie. Everyone vote for that. It's fantastic.
I think right now, Day of the Animals is winning.
Shaitan means what? Devil in French?
It's Satan. Yeah.
Yeah, Satan. That is a good movie. Do you want to do our pickups, or do you want to talk about the big news first?
Let's do pickups first.
Okay. You want to kick things off?
Got? Okay, sure. First off, I want to all of my patrons have seen all these already, but I want to talk about how cool it is that Gaspar Noé is getting freaking great boutique releases. Obviously, we got Irreversible last year, but then to get a 2-for-1 from Arrow, and Enter the Void is coming from, or not Enter the Void, Lux Eterna is coming from, I believe, Yellow Veil or Utopia, one of the Vinegar Syndrome partner labels. So that'll be getting a U.S. release here soon. And it's just awesome to get stuff like this from somebody
Every time
that
I watch one of his movies, I go, Gaspar, no way. They're good. They're just not my thing.
I got one of the final things on my want list from a very specific label in this week. I finally got in Imprints Limited Edition number 2, sorry, wrong number, with the slipcase and sealed. So I am currently all up to date on Imprint.
Holy fuck.
And the other one that I'm going to talk about that is a pickup, we will talk about when we highlight a release each. So I'll wait on that one.
Well, my pickups are a couple double dose of Clint Eastwood. I haven't got a chance to dive into these, but I have a friend who is a big fan of these movies, and they said it is the best color corrected that it's ever been. Like it looks fantastic. So I am excited to dive into these. These are two classic films that Sean does not like. Sean did not like Good, Bad, the Ugly. Did I ever tell you that story?
I don't think so.
There's a local movie critic who gets to he gets flown out by Netflix and stuff, but he eats at the restaurant, and I told him about Talking Swords, and he listened to it. And his exact words when he got to the part where Sean says he doesn't like The Good, Bad, the Ugly, he was like, "Is this guy a fucking moron?" Like, was this the guy's exact response? And I was like, "No, he's just British."
We had that discussion in our Discord today because Fu admitted that he didn't like The Exorcist after I guessed that he would hate The Exorcist. And we said we should almost make a full channel on our Discord just related to Fu's bad taste.
To be fair, I have not wanted to go back to The Exorcist in years. And when I watched it at a very young age, I was like 10 or 11, my mom was like, "Don't watch this movie. It's the scariest movie ever." And when I finally watched it, I was laughing. I thought it was hilarious. Like, your mother sucks cocks in hell, the fuck me Jesus stuff. That stuff is hilarious. But so I agree with him. But pickups, I got City Hunter.
What a segue.
Speaking of
your mother.
Jackie Chan, fantastic movie, based on a live action anime adaptation. We got show off. I got a new media book. Orbit started carrying a lot of kung fu media books, which is awesome. I got Kung Fu Zombie, which is
interesting,
ridiculous.
Is that the U.S. name for that, or is there another name for that one?
No, it's Kung Fu Zombie. The German name is Die Gorilla Meet der Starling Clue. So,
Gesundheit.
Yeah, this movie is the director is famous. Not famous, but he's done a couple movies that I have definitely talked about before. I can't. It's in German, so I can't read it. But this is a very fun movie.
Sardis brought up, I've watched the Friedkin doc and have started watching his films again. We were talking about that in the Discord today as well. And one of the other documentaries, there is a documentary on The Exorcist, I believe, on Shudder. And it could give some people some more renewed appreciation for it.
I also got The Killer Meteors.
Nice.
This movie got me banned on Facebook for 29 days because someone so Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation, a great YouTube channel. Will's great. He has a great Facebook group. There was a guy in that group who was just aggressive and very negative. Very, very negative. And someone posted like, hey, I watched this, liked it. Didn't like it that much, but had a good time with it. And he wrote something like, if you like that movie, you're an idiot, blah, blah. And I just wrote, why are you such a cunt? And or why are you such an aggressive cunt or absolute cunt or something? And I got banned for saying that. So, but this movie's fun. It's a fun movie. It's not good. It's not great. I would have liked to have seen Jackie Chan do a villain role more often. It's like when Tom Cruise played the villain in Collateral. It's like just weird. You're like, oh shit, like but it fucking fits. So I'm again, this and Half the Loaf of Kung Fu are two Jackie Chan movies I did not fully like, and I'm blown away that they gave this movie this type of release. Yeah, Jeff, I know negativity on Facebook.
I put the link for the Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society channel in the chat there. I highly suggest people subscribe to that one.
And then Kill Them All and Come Back Alone, which we'll talk about later.
Oh, nice.
Blown away by this release. So
I've not picked up any of those three. That'll be good to hear about.
What a cool line. What a really cool line from Studio Canal.
Yeah.
It's because correct me if I'm wrong, but I view them along the same lines as like a Criterion.
Not Studio Canal, no.
No, I mean like they did Ron in 4K.
But it's kind of different because Studio Canal is they're more akin to like a Lionsgate. They're essentially just a studio that buys rights, but they also produce their own movies. So yeah, the closest thing in the UK to Criterion is probably Eureka's Cinema Classics.
Okay.
Studio Canal is an odd. It's hard to approach. It's very much like Lionsgate because they'll put out great releases of old classics sometimes that they have the rights to, but then they'll put all their money on like a Blumhouse film. So
this movie is top 10 favorite spaghetti westerns for me. Enzo Castellari, he's got 2 in my top 10, which is Keoma is the other one he did. And the dude is filming a movie right now as we speak. He's filming a western. He's like 91 years old.
Jeez.
Can you hear my child?
Yep.
She's having a great time in there. I think they're having a rave.
Did Minnie Mouse hit her in the forehead?
Yeah. She's like, oh shit, Minnie Mouse. I saw a comment from, I think it was Kung Fu Zombie in the US is a different movie starring Billy Chong. I'm not sure which of the German movie is. Okay. So I am wrong.
So I recognize that title, and the art doesn't look like anything with that movie. So that makes sense.
Yeah, they also Orbit has a movie that I've never heard of. It's another Kung Fu media book. I found the English name. Can't find anything about that movie on any site. It's not on Letterboxd, not on IMDb.
That's a good sign. It's probably an amazing classic.
Well, I mean, there are a couple movies that are like that, though. That like I have stumbled upon, and I'm like, oh shit, this movie's low key awesome. But yeah, those are my pickups. And then when we talk about our pick of the week,
is it this one, the Victorious Swords of the Golden Dragon?
yes, it's got like a guy jumping on the cover
with two swords.
Yes,
yeah,
I have no idea what that movie is. I can't find anything about it. I'm pretty knowledgeable.
Die Reisen Schwerter des Goldenen Drachen.
See?
It is pretty sweet artwork. Let me share this.
Very cool artwork. I want to get it, but it is, again, it's like a blind buy. I blind buy too many already. So, yeah, that is very cool artwork.
It's decent price for a good import as well.
Good, yeah, it's a decent price, but I don't think $40 plus shipping for a movie I literally know nothing about.
Yeah, not by itself. If you were getting it with a couple other things and not paying for shipping already, that it might make sense. But $40 is kind of a lot.
They have a lot of good media books right now.
They do.
That there's like this weird wave in the U.S. where we are collecting media books, and Diabolic and Orbit are kind of like taking notice.
Yep.
And I literally feel like it's the 15 of us that are in that media book Facebook group that are fueling this. Because like the moment that group got formed, what is this movie right here, Witchfinder?
That is a very, very famous folk horror movie.
I almost bought it.
It's actually called Witchfinder General.
I almost bought it because I thought it was a Western.
No, folk horror.
Huh. Can you keep scrolling down? Or okay.
Yes.
Let's see what they got in stock.
They still got Black Christmas. Diabolic got more of the Sadness media book in, I believe. So if you're still looking for that, they might have it. This Day of the Dead media book, I have it. It's very nice.
That's a good movie.
It is. And something I can't show on Facebook there.
Benedetta?
No, the Maniac Driver. That one in the middle. There it is.
Just scroll down real fast. There you go. So I actually picked up Drug Connection 2, and there's a couple other Asian ones that they have.
There's one at the very top as well that I already went past.
Machine Girl 2. That is a good movie.
The one at the very top was here, Jet Li High Risk. I think Sean picked that one up.
I didn't get that one. Damn it! I'm gonna have to wait. Oh, they have Crying Freeman too. That is a good movie. Kazuo Koike, same creator.
Well,
as,
they had it. It's out of stock now.
Damn it. Well, shit the bed. Now, do you want to talk about the big announcement?
Yes, let's.
Bride and I are getting married.
Before it's illegal. So what?
You told me nothing along those lines, and then you break the rules.
I did not attack anybody with that. What we wanted to share is that with the amount of free time that neither of us have ever, starting tonight, we are going to be going to a bi-weekly episode format. So tonight will be the first, and then the next one will be in 2 weeks from now, which will be, I believe, the 5th of July. Yeah.
I'm a little pissed about the 4th of July this year. We usually close the restaurant down for the 4th of July, and we get an extra day off, but it's on a Monday. Are we going to prenup on our collections? I don't want
100%.
I'll sign a prenup. I don't want no vinegar syndrome.
I just want my Claude Cherbol set that you're still sending.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I have license. It's literally in my car. It's literally in my car wrapped. So Ryan and I, like we said, we don't have free time. We have very little free time. I'm actually starting a second job for 2 weeks, just helping a friend out with a landscaping job. And I'm going to be taking boxing lessons here soon. So our free time is like zero, you know. There are some things I want to do personally for myself. And coming up with a topic every single week is a little bit of a challenge. And a lot of times, I mean, if you've seen like a couple episodes, I probably look bored AF because I'm like, we're talking about summertime movies, and I'm like, Bi-weekly announced during Pride Month. Smart thinking.
By Fur says, do we mean bi-weekly or bi-monthly? The odd thing
Bi-weekly.
about the English language, bi-weekly can mean both every 2 weeks and twice a week. So we are doing it every 2 weeks.
Yes, we're going to do it every 2 weeks. So, which is nice because it's going to fall on the Talking Swords Day. So literally every other Tuesday, I will have 2 podcasts to do, and I'll be excited to talk about that. But we're also going to kind of switch content a little bit. We both collect these movies, we both collect these releases, but we don't really talk about the releases in depth enough on this show.
And what's funny is we started that way.
Yeah, we started that way, and then it turned into let's just talk about movies in general, and we'll still do that. You know, occasionally Ryan and I are working on an idea for a cool, like maybe once a month episode or once every 2 month episode, where we'll have guests on and we'll do like a ranking. We're working out the kinks for that.
For those of you that liked the Screen Drafts episode, we're trying to make up our own game that's similar to that.
Dave says, what the heck is he going to do on his Tuesday nights now?
Well, what's funny is this could mean that Flip can do his own content for his channel. So maybe he has a video out that day. I might be able to stream for my channel on Tuesday nights. There's lots of stuff. Instead of what I normally do, which is I get done with this show and then I stay up to like 1:30 recording a video for my channel that I'm going to edit groggily at work tomorrow. Now I can spend my nights actually doing my videos sometimes.
I think I'm going to just end up going, like I've always gone to the gym, but it's been more of a chore. Like I would say last year, the last week and a half, 2 weeks, I have re-fallen in love with working out to the point where even if I got done with work Saturday at 4:30 in the morning and I went and did an hour of lifting weights. So I'm probably going to be working out on Tuesdays. When do you actually watch movies? At work, we have a big screen TV in the back, thank God.
I don't get to do that as much. I watch movies every Monday night. I try to watch them every Sunday night, like we're going to do on the Discord this week. And then I try to fit in as much as I can.
New Tuesday bi-weekly show, Ryan and Aaron Penn.
Don't put that on me.
But yeah, I mean, who knows? Things might go back to weekly a year from now or whatever. But work. I mean, I had this free time because we didn't have a dining room at the restaurant, and now we have a dining room, and it's fucking insane. So, but yeah, I'm happy. Originally, we were just gonna call it quits
for a little while.
And I was like, well, it's cool because I love doing this show, and I love Ryan. So on our off weeks, I'll be arranging an online commemorative prayer circle. Yeah, I adore Ryan. I consider Ryan one of my best friends. I love him. Ryan and I have had some deep conversations. So this I always look forward to. But now I'm going to look forward to it even more. And I feel like the episodes are going to be a lot better because we're not going to be burnt out. We'll have more time to, recoup. And we're going to be focusing on movies. We're going to be focusing on actual releases and let you know if they're worth picking up or not. Doing a deep dive. And the episodes are going to be like an hour.
We're going to try to stay pretty tight as opposed to our old 3-hour streams that we had at one point.
Those were fun, though.
I adore them all.
And I do think, once the end of the year comes and we do the best of, those will probably be longer streams, and those will be
absolutely
like mini events, Yep. But also, I think lately, the last couple episodes, we've gotten the most viewerships that we've had live. So I think if we keep, if we keep that momentum bi-weekly and we keep being refreshed instead of just being like, hey, you want to talk about top 5 non-Disney animated movies or whatever. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I'm excited.
And don't forget to everybody, this is still available as a podcast too. So if you can't watch live, there is the opportunity to listen as well.
Got to do a Criterion deep dive next month. We should do that.
It'll be on my channel at least.
Wait, is the sale next month?
Yep.
Do we have a date?
It's usually just like July 2nd ish through like it's usually exactly 4 weeks long.
I think July 5th we should do a Criterion episode.
You know what's funny is it may be starting on that exact day because it's usually the start of the week.
Perfect. We should do that.
Yeah,
little hint, guys. If it's got this guy named Akira Kurosawa in it, maybe pick it up.
Eric has heard the entire month of July.
Wow.
And don't forget, if you are a Barnes & Noble person, Arrow sale already going on. Started on June either 16th or 17th, and it's going till July 16th or 17th.
And Kino, apparently, too.
And Kino was, that one is odd because they're not really advertising it as a sale, even though Amazon is matching all the prices already and all that. So,
when does Raging Bull come out? Does that come out in July?
Ooh, that might be in August. You know what? I think it is July. I think it's late July.
Good, because that's going to be probably my first Criterion pickup in a very long time. That and Shaft.
They, I mean, honestly, everything they've announced so far, I feel like this is one of their stronger years in recent memory for me.
Last year was very lackluster. This year has been very good.
Yeah.
So, credit is. You know the fucking saying.
You want to talk about some watches that we've had?
Yeah. I watched The Fighter with Mark Wahlberg. Good movie, based on a true story. Ooh, I can't wait. Raging Bull is fucking great. See, I watched The Fighter because I wanted to watch Raging Bull, and I was like, I think that's getting Criterion release. I'll save it for the 4K. But The Fighter's great. True story. Fantastic. I watched a lot of sports this week. I watched there's a really good boxing match on Saturday. Really good MMA bout as well from the UFC. So yeah. Not Mark Wahlberg. I love Mark Wahlberg.
I watched last night with my mom and my wife, and then I even FaceTimed my sister and had her watch with us, and she was with her husband. We all watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Your sister's married?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So are you. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I just want to say, if you haven't watched it in a long time, this is a great time to watch it. It's available on HBO Max. The movie is so much better than a lot of people give it credit for. First of all, they had, I think the budget for that movie was like $2 million. And what's crazy is the actual production value they got was worth like $20 million because the Chiodo brothers essentially built everything by hand for free for that movie. So they stretched every single penny that they had, and it looks great. I mean, they built sets. There's actual like props. There's really good set design in the background. Even it's astonishing. And then of course there's really bad green screen because of the year that it was made, and some really poor like CGI before it was CGI effects. But overall, I mean, it's Killer Clowns is a classic for a reason.
Taylor and I watched that when she was pregnant, and she thought it was hilarious.
It's very funny.
Oh, I started Everything Everywhere All at Once. I have not felt compelled to go back to it, which is very.
You haven't gotten past the intro yet.
I'm at the part where the stuff starts happening, and I just don't feel compelled enough to go back, which is weird for me. I know.
You really need to sit down in one sitting and watch the whole thing, which is hard because it's long.
Yeah, it's a very, very long movie.
I think it's 2.5 hours, just over.
That's way too fucking long.
It really is. And what's crazy is all the movies are trending to be long nowadays. And you would think they would want them shorter to be able to have more times to show at the theater. But no, like we're getting 3.5 hour freaking superhero epics. Why?
I think the last 2 episodes of Stranger Things are like one's an hour and a half, one's 2 hours.
They're movie length.
I'm so excited. Have you watched that yet?
No.
Have you started the show at all?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We've just not watched this brand new season.
There is an episode 4 I was so shook and emotional. I had to turn the fucking show off and not continue for like a day. Like I was sobbing. And that
Interesting.
goddamn Kate Bush song is so good.
That song is everywhere right now.
It's so good. She owns the like complete rights to that song.
Yep.
She's making like $250,000 a week.
Yep.
Good for her.
This is there's not even probably. This is the most she's ever been paid in her career, and it's just from being in a show.
I've just been jamming to that song at the gym too. Like, hey, oh, do you know how it feels? It's good. This might be the best season of Stranger Things.
I mean, personally, I don't know why a lot of people hated season 3. I feel like every season has gotten better, legitimately.
I completely agree with you. So, do you know anything about the season? Like, do you know the bad guy, what he looks like?
Vecna, yeah.
Yeah, Vecna. His sound is like a clock. It's like his key sound effect, like when you know he's coming. That fucking sound was in every first episode of season 1.
Yep.
Just like, and if they had that planned out, just fucking incredible, insane. Probably the only thing worth subscribing to Netflix to at this point.
I mean, they've had some good stuff, but not.
Have you seen this new FX show coming out?
New FX show.
I think it's called the Bear. It's about a guy who owns a family restaurant that's struggling in Chicago, and it's like a serious, like drama comedy, and it looks phenomenal. Like, it looks so good. I think it's going to capture perfectly what it's like to run a restaurant. Like, it looks so. It's got one of the guys from Shameless.
Interesting.
Wait.
Sean said another hot take: Stranger Things is insanely overrated. And Jeff said, "Say something about Gamora because Fu will flip or Flip will flip."
You started Gamora, right?
Not yet. I just got in the very last season. That's what I was waiting for.
It's so good. Until the last season.
And you think it shits the bed?
They give the actor who played Shiro, he becomes the showrunner, and the show severely lacks after. Like the moment he becomes it jumps the shark in quite a few ways. It introduces the characters, it introduces these really cool fucking characters and then does nothing with them. And then the ending I'm torn about. It's like I like it on one aspect, and one aspect I don't like it. So
it is 5 seasons, right?
5 seasons in a movie.
Right.
The movie you watch after season 4, before season 5.
I can't help but notice that The Wire also had 5 seasons, and everybody hated the 5th season.
I think 5 is a good. I mean, Stranger Things is going to end on 5. I think 5 is like. Did Breaking Bad end on 5?
Breaking Bad ended. It had a 5 part 1 and part 2. But the Duffer Brothers on Stranger Things, they're talking about potentially going for 6 now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Just if I read that they had a complete idea for 4 seasons and then they had a good enough idea to bring out the season 5. Maddie Matheson is
Hilton says Maddie Matheson is a consultant on The Bear, and Flip saying he's going to be in it.
Yeah, he's in the trailer.
Incredibly enticing. I mean,
he's one of my favorite people.
He has worked in so many restaurants. That is fantastic.
He's the thing, like the trailer got me a little emotional because there's like little things that like you just don't see when you go to a restaurant, especially like a mom and pop place.
Right.
The work, the commitment, like it's your life. And I think this show tonally is going to perfectly capture what that's like. So,
and you liked Chef for a lot of the same reasons, right? Didn't we talk about that?
Yes. I can't wait. That's my most anticipated show now of this year. Comes out.
I'm gonna have to look up the trailer for that.
Comes out in 3 days, I think. It's good. I wish we could play the trailer live and react to it.
Yeah, it's other channels have gotten away with it. I've tried on mine and got squashed once. I don't understand.
That's stupid. Is that the guy who Bam Margera looks like now? That's
Yes.
disrespectful to Matty Matheson.
It is, but yes.
Matty Matheson, Bam just looks like Phil.
Yeah, eventually he will, for sure.
It's Bam Margera. This is slapping Phil's dick. Oh, come on, Bam. You know I don't like to get my dick slapped. Come on.
As he ruins their house.
Oh, come on, Bam. Dude, I'll never forget. In 6th grade, we had to write a letter to our like favorite celebrity. And Bam was my favorite celebrity because when you're like a fucking 11, 12-year-old skateboarding
Watching
kid,
Jackass.
that shit is the funniest stuff to a 12-year-old. But like once you hit like 13, you're like, he's a little disrespectful to his parents. So my mom's like, no, write something to someone more respectable. So I was like, I don't know, Conan O'Brien. Didn't get shit. My friend who wrote Bam got a fucking signed skateboard, a shirt, a fucking CKY DVDs. Like, got a whole bunch of shit. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Thanks,
So
Mom.
that's actually cool with Bam, though. So
Back then, yeah.
yeah. Well,
He wouldn't
come
do
on.
the same thing now.
Come on, Phil.
He'd write you with the poster from or a postcard from rehab that he just left.
Dude, that show is like Viva La Bam is such an iconic show just for the mid-Atlantic accents in that show. Like it's so specific. I can't even do it.
The opening of that show was pretty damn iconic too.
Come on, Phil. Like I can't. Like it's such a fucking good accent. Just building a fucking treehouse skateboarding park, like just the shit he would do to his parents. It's wild.
That house was ruined so many times.
It's a nice house.
Yeah. Well, it was multiple times.
And then what was that band Him? Did you ever like Him?
No.
What?
No.
You weren't into His Infernal Majesty?
Nope.
It's
That's why.
All their albums were like Razor Blade 666. It's like, oh, that's so cool. Dark Shadows, and I was like,
Releases. You want to start highlighting these?
Yeah. How many are we doing?
Just one each.
One each. All right. I want to highlight Kill Them All and Come Back Alone. Kino put this out. Pretty lackluster release, like most Kino releases. They got a commentary from Alex Cox on it. I don't, because this has a commentary from Alex Cox. I do not know if it's the same commentary. Every other special feature is labeled new, except for the commentary from Alex Cox. So I don't know if it's a different commentary or not. But it says audio commentary from filmmaker and fan Alex Cox. Fantastic commentary. He's, I think, the best when it comes to spaghetti westerns. Can you guys hear my kid crying?
A little bit.
She is trying not to go to bed.
You know what sucks is out of these 3 Studio Canal releases in this new line, this is the only one sold out at Orbit right now, so I can't even link it.
Oh, really? Well, that's good because this movie fucking rocks.
They are going to be getting more in, so I will put the link so that you can make a notification.
It's got a new Shoot to Kill, Aim to Thrill, an interview with Enzo G. Castellari, which is great. New Italy's Cult, a tour of action cinema, a critical retrospective of Enzo Castellari, because he also did Inglourious Bastards. So, like, he was making these. I think Seven released one of his movies.
I believe so.
What was, like, when they were doing that, like, post-apocalyptic bundle, one of those movies was his, I think. New Shootouts in the Old Spaghetti West. Romulo on the family of filmmaking contains a set of art cards, which I have not actually opened, but I'll do it here and now for the show.
Severin had put out Inglourious Bastards on DVD at one point.
Oh, did they really? That's a weird.
Yeah,
that's a weird pick. Yeah, so you get. Here's the original poster in Italian.
Chuck
Very
Connors.
Cool. Yeah, Chuck. Yep, good old Chucky boy. Nice shootout scene on the water. There's our sexy man, Chuck Connors. And there he is again, looking like an absolute Chad. This movie is like a reverse magnificent. Have you ever seen this movie?
I think so. Just because I recognize Chuck Connors a lot. Obviously, Chuck Connors was everywhere. I love him in so many different things. But I think at one point I had.
It's like a reverse Magnificent Seven. So it's like about a group of guns for hire, basically, who have to go and attack a fortress where there's gold. And each of the guys has like a unique ability, but it's really like one guy is just good with the explosives, one guy's
Right.
a marksman shooter. It's fantastic. It's literally an action movie. So when you go into it, don't expect a good story. The story is just literally, hey, go get the gold, and then it's just bloodshed happens. It's fucking awesome. And it's not that soon after. When did this come out? It's not that long after A Fistful of Dollars, because I've been
I want to say 67.
68 is what it says.
Okay.
So A Fistful of Dollars was what, 67? 64. So okay, maybe I was wrong, but I've been going through these movies. I've been going through spaghetti westerns, and there is a complete shift in quality after Django and Fistful of Dollars come out, because they come out the same year.
Right.
There's a complete tonal shift. It's like the following year, everything's gritty, everything's violent, everything's dark. Because before they were like lighthearted comedies, this is incredible. There's a lot of grit, a lot of dirt, some really good action. This has always been one of my top 10 favorite spaghetti westerns, and I've never thought we would get a prestige release like this. Because this is like a nice release.
Yeah.
It's a brand new restoration too, new 4K restoration. So,
Not that it necessarily means anything, but are they numbering the spines for everybody?
no, but there's a year of like when it comes out.
Oh, good.
So I'll say like 1968. So
Imprint does that as well. I love when companies do that. There's this one.
I might just pick up the other two. What's the other two in this line?
It's unfortunately one of them is Extreme Prejudice, the Walter Hill film that's gotten now it's like 5 boutique releases in the span of like 5 months because Imprint just released a Walter Hill box set. Well, first off, it's a great movie. If you've never seen it, Extreme Prejudice is legitimately great. And then the other one is it's surprisingly good.
Okay.
The other one is High Crime from Castellari. And that one stars the man Franco Nero.
Now, does this line have any other stuff announced for it?
No, just these 3 so far.
Huh. Depending on what the next 3 are, I might continue picking them up. Because, I mean, I love when they have a complete look. I might get Extreme Prejudice just from this line. Again, this movie, for I think the longest time, was just like a throwaway film for a lot of spaghetti western fans. But for it to get, a retrospective, a new interview, it's just really awesome. So, and it's short. It's 100 minutes. It's perfect. Perfect time. And what's your pick?
Not bad at all. My pick, speaking of things that look similar or they're continuing a line, I think that this one that I just got in last week is the perfect companion piece. Perfect companion piece if you are picking up True Romance if you don't have the UK one, and that is Wild Things from Arrow. This is yet another time that they have killed a release from the 90s, and this thing is just one of those perfect packages. So first off, a lot of people hate these cartoon arts on these steelbooks. I think this one is really good. I think that the art that they were able to do for the 4 characters is really high quality. And then the back of it is even pretty decent.
That's
nice. But then
I've got this out and unfolded so I can show it. I really love that they animated the iconic art from this. So this is not just a picture. It's like a computer drawing of it. So this is one I would genuinely consider framing because it's really cool. And then the back of it is their new art as well.
What's the film about?
It is an erotic. It's genuinely like one of the first erotic thrillers. Not one of the first, but like it's one of the ones that broke through. And it is
First off, you see Kevin Bacon's penis.
Is it nice?
Does
it look like bacon?
Yes. No.
Is it a nice penis?
It's a hog.
It's really.
It's not bad. This says a spoiled rich kid, a troubled teen from the wrong side of the tracks, a carefree playboy, and a dogged detective find themselves all caught up in the sex crime of the century and the steamy, star-studded crime thriller from the director of Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. So the crazy thing about this is it is essentially about somebody me-tooing someone else, and then people involved in that story backstabbing each other for like the next hour. And the plot is a little incomprehensible, but the movie itself it's actually pretty good. And then
Are there boobies?
If I remember right, there are, but also yes, there clearly are.
Yes.
So there are some very steamy. I mean, obviously, those girls are even kissing, and it's Denise Richards at the height of her beauty. It is Neve Campbell right around Scream, and got a really good book in here. Lots of writing, lots of pictures to go through.
Wait. What was one of the last pictures there?
I don't think there was any news.
There was a really nice picture that I wanted to see.
Was there Denise Richards? Maybe.
No. Go back.
Was there nudity?
I don't know. I'm trying.
I feel like you're trying to get me to.
I'm investigating.
This one probably. But then, just like yours, there is a whole bunch of art cards on the inside.
Controversial when it came out.
It was very controversial. So we got Matt Dillon. I forgot to mention his name.
He's a hottie.
He's pretty decent in this too.
Do you see his hog?
No. Denise Richards though, looking mighty fine in this movie.
Has she aged well?
Not as well as Neve Campbell, who I just got a picture with 2 weeks ago. And then Sir Kevin Bacon, who was just on Hot Ones.
Was it good? I haven't
it was
seen
decent, yeah.
He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah. When I was in Hollywood too, there was his Hollywood Walk of Fame star was down, and his wife just got her star fairly recently, and they had it put in right next to his as well.
Who's his wife?
Kira Sedgwick.
Who the fuck is that?
Very famous actress.
I've never heard of her.
Anyways, this release is stacked. Like I said, it's a 4K. Looks
From Arrow?
very good. Yes, from Arrow. It doesn't quite look as good as True Romance, but I think that's just a difference in filming quality. Obviously, the people behind
really, really good though. Like,
and it's a much brighter movie too. So this has all kinds of stuff. They have an exclusive new audio commentary by the director John McNaughton. They have an archival commentary with McNaughton and a whole bunch of other people. New interview with John McNaughton. New interview with George S. Clinton. New interview with Denise Richards, so you can see how she aged. There's a making of documentary, an understanding lawyer outtakes trailer, and then all of the physical goodies that I showed. There is a lot in here.
Sorry, so instead of art cards, I wish they would start including hard card original posters in that size. I think that would be nice.
Yeah. Another thing, this is from another movie that I'm about to do a review for on my channel, so I'm kind of changing complete things that we're talking about right now. But I found this really cool. Music Box Films put this movie out, and they put out baseball cards for their characters, and there's actual like stats and everything on the back.
That's for Wild Things?
No, this is for a movie called Strawberry Mansion.
That's cool.
Yeah, super unique. Yeah, Wild Things, that is either just came out or is about to come out. Really, really good looking release. I should probably fold this poster up now. Highly recommend it. Again, Arrow's 4K, when they do it right, they do it right.
Yes, they do. I agree. I think Arrow, best boutique 4K company?
It still goes to Blue Underground.
Okay. Best not releasing trash movies in 4K boutique Blu-ray company.
Blue Underground.
I was just fucking with you. Blue. I just there like hasn't been that many movies that Blue Underground's put out that I'm like, oh, I gotta have that.
I get that. I do think that there are a few that were released after their initial run of horror in 4K that I think you would actually like the Final Countdown. You'd probably genuinely be into.
What's that?
It is the movie that pays for Blue Underground to survive as a company. It's an odd like naval time travel film. Yes, it's a weird combination in that sentence, I know, but yeah, it is. It's a good movie.
Is the song?
I also. I don't think so.
Final Countdown.
I don't think so. In fact, I think that might have came out before the song. Now that I think about it.
Whoa, that's old.
I will also say I'm not going to say that it's like the best thing they've ever done, but and not that they were always trash or anything like that, but the latest couple Vinegar Syndrome 4Ks are looking really good. Like a lot. The ones that just came out, like Thriller looks pretty decent. Obviously, not a lot of people are gonna rave about that one because of how it was shot. It's still very grainy. But the other ones that are coming out in 4K, the Miami Connection is a bit of a step up. It's not incredible, but what they are doing is high quality. And a lot of their stuff that people have complained about for their 4Ks is just that it's very grainy. But I mean, that's what's going to happen when it's shot on film. Yeah.
Film is grain. That's such a silly thing to complain about. Have you ever met someone who is such an asshole in person about movies? I was talking about this the other day.
Not in person, no.
Just met a guy who just called me and said I had a trash taste because I like Quentin Tarantino. Like Quentin Tarantino has never made a good movie, and I was like, I don't even know what to say to you, dude. Never? Like, not even like Pulp Fiction? No.
I mean, he's made many objectively good movies. It's kind of hard to argue against some of them.
I think all his movies objectively are well made.
I think they are all well made, but I think that there are like a lot of people would argue against. Hell, some people would argue against like Kill Bill.
Well, those people don't.
Which I don't understand. But there are other like Hateful Eight. That's a really hard one to argue against.
Yeah, it's just so well written, so fun. So artist says the Final Countdown was rumored to be based on an actual government secret program. I did not know this. Did you know this?
I did not know that, but I'm always interested in like secret government programs and stuff like that. Have you ever had any weird run-ins with anything like that?
Like stories?
Like anything that happened to you?
Okay. This is going to sound absolutely fucking crazy, but I'm not making this up. I used to have a friend. Not used to, but he moved, so we don't hang out anymore. But my kid is still fucking awake, dude. What is up with this? He goes from crying to giggling again. What is happening in there? I had a friend named Colin, and on the outskirts of town, there is a water treatment facility. Okay? Why are you laughing?
Because she is so loud. Laughing like crazy.
She's laughing at my story. And about 2 hours away, there was a nuclear power plant. There's one about 45 minutes away, too, in another town. So, like, there's 2 nuclear power plants here. Colin and I were driving, and we were in the water treatment facility. Looks like a nuclear power plant on the outside of town. It just happens to look like one. So we're driving, and I point out to him. I said, "Man," I go, "that building is big," because I've never been up close next to it. We're just driving out in the country and we pass it, and I go, "Man, that is a fucking big building." And we're driving 10 minutes. We're passing a very similar another building, but we're 2 hours away at the nuclear power plant. And me and him both got goosebumps. We both were like, we both have a 2 hour lapse in time that's just not there. And then we had to drive 2 hours home.
You got Men in Black.
Fucking weird. We both literally, we looked at it. We were driving. We came to a stop sign. There was the highway, or the highway. We look both ways, no one. We drive straight, and like 10 minutes later, we come upon another building. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then we look at the name. We're like, no way, we're in Coal City. What the fuck? So
the only thing I have that's
One time
even
I was,
remotely like that. Go ahead.
I was gonna say one time
You're
I was
lagging
out in the
again.
country.
That's why I started talking.
I was out in the country with a female friend, and we saw a light up above, and we were like, "Oh my god!" It was just a drone.
Growing up in the desert in California, there is a lot of empty free land and just random shit that could happen out there. There are multiple bases that were either previously used or were actively being used, or appeared to not be active, however, were actually active, and they were not letting it be known that they were still doing things there. So there's like Edwards Air Force Base. I grew up very close to it. There is, I think it was George Air Force Base was another one out there. China Lake was another testing center out there. I grew up near a communication tower that was used in like the 70s and 80s called Haws Tower. I think I've talked about that one on the show before, but there was one time we just said, a friend of mine who was in the Marines, coincidentally, had a rental car, and we were like, fuck it, it's not our car, let's just drive it like wherever. So we drove for like 45 minutes in one direction out in the middle of the desert on just this random ass highway, and said, okay, starting now, we're going to take the next left turn on a dirt road, just the next one we see, and just see where it goes. And so we took the next turn, and it was eventually going to be taking us, because we drove like 40 miles down this dirt road. It was eventually going to take us to like a city area where we'd been before. We knew our way around, but about 2/3 of the way down this dirt road, all of a sudden there was this giant, like really reinforced fence, barbed wire and everything across the top, a building off in the distance, not close enough where you can see anything. And we were like, not right up against the fence, but like a good 15 feet away. So we stopped the car, and I got out to get a closer look at the fence to see if there's any writing or anything like that, see if there's anything to read. And when I got up to the fence, literally within 5 seconds of me getting to the fence, vehicles came from the building and started going towards the fence. And so we got in the car and just took off, and they followed us the entire length of the fence just to make sure we kept driving.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What was in there?
No clue.
We have to go back. We have to go to California together and go back.
Oh man.
You remember when they were going to storm Area 51?
Yeah.
I wish they would have. That would have been so fucking awesome, dude. Just watch a bunch of kids get slaughtered for
Well, and I
riding.
mean, technically, Area 51 was only like a 2-hour drive from where I grew up as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you ever go?
No.
One of the most iconic things of our generation is that kid Naruto running. It's towards Area 51 and then
did I ever talk about Haws Tower on here? Do you remember that at all? So it was from this highway. It was about a mile offset from the highway, and it just looked like a mound of dirt with like a shack on the top. But if you got off and went on the dirt road, and it was like this windy road to get there, so it's kind of a jaunt, even though it's only about a mile away. You get there, and there's like multiple concrete structures on the top of this. But if you're standing on the top of this big mound, you look around, there's a circle of these little concrete pillars about like 200 feet away from the base of this thing. And all they were anchors for the top of this massive communications antenna. But this giant mound had an entrance on each side that was like something you see out of Halo. It was like this massive corridor going inside just a mound that looks like a hill. But the moment you go into the entrance and make that first left, it is so dark that you can't see your hand in front of your face. It is the most odd thing because the whole thing is underground. And so we went in with flashlights, and there's like 50 rooms in there, literally. There's all kinds of exploring that we did. We found a generator room with an area for a generator that was the size, literally, of like 3 F-250s. next to each other. And then back past that, there's this other room where you go down a couple stairs and you're in this lowest part of the entire place, and you look up and there's essentially an opening, and then you can tell there's another room up there, because like you could throw rocks and it would just land and it would be a room. But it was so weird because it was the first time we found it, it was right after The Ring came out. And that stupid, in part of the video, there's that ladder that goes up to the top part of the barn.
Yeah.
There was this old ass ladder that was coming down from this opening. So it was creepy as hell because it felt like the ladder going to the barn. And we sent somebody up there, and yeah, they checked out the whole thing for us. They could have died, literally. They never should have gone up on that ladder. But it was so cool to kind of put a button onto the story. When I joined the Sheriff Explorers, because I was in law enforcement when I was 15, because that's what an idiot does. We needed a place to do building searches, and I said, I've got the perfect idea. Let's go out to this old creepy abandoned government building. And we went out there, and I sent like 5 people in to hide with fake guns, and if they saw any of us, they were to say bang bang and say that they would kill us. But yeah, we searched the whole place, cleared it, and it was one of the best training things I ever did.
You went into a government building as a 15-year-old, and now you work for the government.
That's true.
It's the future, man. It all comes. It's a circle.
If only I worked in communications, it would have been perfect.
So, have I told a story about how I randomly will have a dream about someone I don't like and they die, and then it happens? Have I talked about this? Okay, so when my cousin Gabby died, right? She died at the age of 5. We're at the funeral. And this guy named Bob comes up to me. I'm talking to my cousins. We're in mourning. We had a fucking 5-year-old die in the family. And he's on my dad's side. So he's not even related to the people who are in this funeral, right? He comes up to me and goes, he's a grumpy old man. He goes, your grandma said you lost weight, but I can clearly see that's a lie. And I just looked at him like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was just like, what? And I just turned my back to him and just ignored him. So he came into the restaurant regularly, like pretty often. And every time he'd come in, he would boot my nose or pinch my ear, and I would just dead face, just be like, wouldn't say a word, wouldn't blink, would just stare into his soul. Well, last year I had a dream that he died. And I woke up and I told my mom, I said, Mom, I had a dream that Bob Adams died. Next day, the motherfucker died. So I thought that was weird. Then there's a customer named Don who is just like another grumpy old man. Always has an issue, always never knows what he wants, never whatever. So I had a dream that he died. 3 days later, he died. And then there's a woman I don't like. I had a dream that I didn't have a dream she died. I dreamed that she got severely sick and ended up in the hospital. She's on life support now. So 3 for 3.
Interesting. Sarda says, when I was in the military, I took some pictures of a plane flying over, and when the pictures came back, the plane was blacked out. Turned out to be an SR-71 when it was still a secret plane.
That's pretty cool.
Dave says, I'm working my way through the X-Files. Damn if most of these episodes are coming across as documentaries now. That is too true. Were you ever an X-Files person?
Oh, yeah. Look at me.
I don't think you could be alive in the 90s and not be an X-Files person.
That's true. The story ends with I had a dream about you last night. No, Ben, I have not had a dream about Ryan. That wasn't a wet dream. So
if we had that planned properly, right after you read that comment, we should have stopped the stream.
Or like you just fall over.
I press the button and then fall.
No, I have not had a dream about Ryan. I mean, I've had dreams with Ryan in it, but it's not safe for work. And those dreams don't tend to come true.
Anyways, we are at our hour already, and I know that's weird because normally we'd spend another hour talking about random things like Flip's bathroom habits and Jeremy Long.
Well, thank God that we do have to end because I do have the shit.
But as we said earlier, guys, keep in mind 2 weeks, not next Tuesday, the following Tuesday, we will be back again highlighting another release. And because we have not met for 2 weeks by that point, there will be a lot to talk about for
And
sure.
who knows? Maybe next week, who hasn't driven the ride? That's true. Who knows? Next week, I might start a stream on this channel by myself where I sing Aqua's Aquarium album from start to finish because I know every word of that album.
Well, we'll end this on Foo's comment. I once interviewed a cannibal killer, long story, and the FBI reached out to me to ask me to take the interview down. It was hosted on a website. To this day, I don't really know why.
All right, Sean, I'm texting you after this. I want to read that shit. That's cool as fuck.
All that to say, have a good night. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks.